The illusion of Windows mastery. Most people assume they understand Microsoft Windows because they have spent years pointing, clicking, and dragging icons across a desktop. You might know how to navigate the modern Settings app, use a few basic keyboard shortcuts like Ctrl, Alt, Delete, or clear your web browser history, but this graphical layer is merely a carefully constructed illusion. The moment a critical system update hangs, a boot sector becomes corrupted, or an essential driver goes missing, the user interface collapses into a generic, unhelpful blue screen with a sad face emoji. Suddenly, you are trapped in a loop of running automated troubleshooters that never actually fix anything, or scrolling through decades-old Microsoft help forums where independent advisors blindly tell you to run the file checker tool for the 20th time. The truth is that Windows is an absolute enterprise powerhouse, but its true mechanics are entirely hidden beneath the glossy user interface. Relying strictly on the mouse means you are just a passenger in the operating system. To truly command Windows, diagnose deep technical faults, and unlock genuine computer superpowers, you must look past the graphical surface and learn how to communicate directly with the core architecture, the command line identity crisis. To begin your journey into the Windows backend, you must first navigate a historical identity crisis, the battle between the classic command prompt and PowerShell. Many beginners mistakenly open cmd.exe because it looks like the retro terminal from old movies. However, the legacy command prompt is essentially a digital zombie, a command line environment kept alive through strict backward compatibility so that automated business scripts written in 1995 do not break in the modern era. Command prompt passes raw text strings, which makes parsing complex data a nightmare of cutting, filtering, and formatting text. PowerShell, on the other hand, is an entirely different beast built on top of the modern development framework. In PowerShell, everything you interact with is a structured data object rather than a flat line of text. When you query running applications or network configurations, the terminal generates an interactive table of rich data properties that you can sort, filter, and manipulate with absolute surgical precision. Learning to differentiate between these two environments is the fundamental turning point where you stop typing primitive commands and start writing actual system automation scripts. The magic of object-oriented piping. Because PowerShell is object-oriented, it utilizes a highly logical, predictable language structure based on a basic verb-noun syntax pattern. Commands are always named intuitively, such as getProcess, stopService, or newItem. This structure becomes truly magical when you introduce the pipeline operator, represented by the vertical bar symbol. In traditional operating systems, piping passes a messy wall of text down the line. In Windows PowerShell, piping passes the entire live data object, along with all its underlying attributes, directly into the next command block. For a video demonstration, consider a scenario where your computer suddenly starts lagging due to a runaway background task. Instead of opening Task Manager and hunting through hundreds of rows, you can type a single pipeline string, getProcess, whereObject, $.cpu, GT100. This instructs the system to grab all running processes, analyze their live performance metrics, and immediately isolate any application consuming greater than 100 seconds of processor time. By mastering this object parsing methodology, you can instantly filter massive infrastructure environments using elegant lines of code that execute in milliseconds. Navigating the native documentation. A common trap that completely derails beginners is attempting to memorize hundreds of distinct commands, switches, and syntax parameters from massive online cheat sheets. Real system administrators do not spend their time memorizing strings. Instead, they learn how to query the operating system so it can explain itself. PowerShell is intentionally designed to be entirely self-discovering through a native trinity of help utilities that function as your internal documentation Bible. First, Get command acts as your local search engine. If you have no idea how to modify a network interface, typing get command network will instantly display every relevant tool installed on your machine. Second, get help acts as your personal instructor, allowing you to append the examples flag to view practical, real-world copy and paste code blocks for any utility. Finally, getMember acts as an X-ray machine, letting you pipe any command output directly into it to reveal hidden structural properties and data types that are normally concealed from view. Utilizing these three discovery tools ensures you never get stranded by outdated documentation, allowing you to solve complex configuration issues completely offline. The package management revolution. To truly appreciate the speed of terminal-based administrative control, you need to witness the magic of modern package management. The traditional approach to setting up a new Windows computer is incredibly tedious. You open a web browser, search for software installers, download executable files, click through identical installation wizards, and uncheck hidden bloatware boxes. Power users completely bypass this clunky process by utilizing Winget, the native Windows package manager built right into the terminal shell. Imagine setting up a fresh machine and needing to install Steam, Discord, and VLC media player simultaneously. Instead of visiting 3 separate websites, you simply open an elevated terminal prompt and type Winget install Valve, Steam Discord, Discord Video LAN, VLC. The operating system instantly connects to a secure repository, verifies the application hashes, downloads the deployment packages, and silently installs every single program in the background without requiring a single mouse click or confirmation prompt. Showcasing this specific transformation on camera serves as an incredible visual hook for viewers, proving that command line navigation is vastly faster and more efficient than navigating traditional graphical windows. Demystifying the forbidden registry. Beneath the user interface sits the most intimidating component of the entire operating system, the Windows registry. Often described as the central nervous system of the machine, the registry is a massive, complex hierarchical database that stores configuration settings for the hardware, kernel, software, user preferences, and installed applications. Casual users are frequently warned to never touch the registry editor because a single accidental modification to a hex value can corrupt boot parameters or turn a computer into a completely unresponsive brick. However, learning to safely navigate this system via regedit or PowerShell commands gives you unmatched system customization capabilities. The registry organizes data into clear hives and keys that act exactly like folders and files. By understanding how to read and modify these values, you can manually disable invasive system tracking telemetry, force hidden user interface adjustments, block stubborn startup processes, and fix corrupted software configurations that the standard control panel completely ignores. Demystifying this forbidden database shifts your technical capability from standard troubleshooting into deep operating system engineering. Reading the digital black box. When an application unexpectedly crashes or a computer randomly restarts, standard users are left completely in the dark by cryptic Windows error codes. To diagnose these mysterious failures like a professional network engineer, you must master Event Viewer, accessible by executing eventvwr.msc. Event Viewer functions as an absolute digital black box, silently logging an incredibly detailed timeline of every hardware warning, application failure, security audit, and system event occurring across the entire OS. The sheer volume of data inside Event Viewer can easily overwhelm beginners, but learning to create custom logs and filter categories is an essential troubleshooting skill. By isolating critical errors within the application and system logs, you can track down the exact hardware identification strings or faulty driver files responsible for system instability. Instead of guessing why a computer is malfunctioning or performing unnecessary operating system reinstalls, reading these event logs allows you to pinpoint the exact root cause of a crash, giving you the diagnostic clarity of an enterprise systems administrator. The Sandbox Break-Fix Challenge. The final, the most critical phase of learning Windows deeply is embracing the concept of intentional destruction through a process called break-fix. You should never practice advanced administrative commands or modify critical registry keys on your primary production computer. Instead, you can leverage Windows Sandbox, a built-in, lightweight virtualization environment that launches an isolated, pristine instance of Windows in just a few seconds, completely separate from your host machine. The ultimate challenge for any aspiring power user is to open this secure sandbox, launch an administrative PowerShell prompt, and intentionally break the operating system from the command line. Try manually stopping vital cryptographic services, altering deep file permissions until you lock yourself out, or deleting essential registry hives until the virtual system panics and triggers a blue screen. The actual engineering growth happens when you use your command line knowledge to repair the damage and stabilize the system before closing the window. Once you close the sandbox, the entire environment completely vanishes without a trace, leaving your main computer perfectly safe while cementing real structural mastery in your brain.